Okay, I'm back with some more Sony A99 Mark II and Sony A7R II high ISO comparisons. I did this video before. I'm updating the video now to include some images starting at base ISO. So I'm looking at ISO 100 up to ISO 25,600. That's about the range where I'm going to consider, where I would realistically use files from these cameras. Certainly they shoot higher, but I'm only going to look at this range for purposes of this video. Also, as we go down through these, I'm going to throw in some additional images from the Sony A6500, which I've been very impressed with, and also the Canon 5D Mark IV. I've got a few images in there. I borrowed that camera from a friend, shot a few of these same pictures so we can take a look at the ISO or the high ISO quality of those images as well. So let's just jump into it here. Starting at base ISO, here I've got the 99 M2 and the 7R M2, both at ISO 100. Let's just take a quick look at them. These are going to be totally clean images. This is the A99. The lens I'm using here is the 135 f1.8 Sony Zeiss prime lens. I'm shooting at f3.2, and as you can see, my shutter's at 1/20th of a second, and I'm hand holding this. So we'll zoom in. It looks like I probably lost a little sharpness because I'm hand holding, but I'd say that the overall for hand holding that camera, and that's that 135 is a big heavy lens. So for hand holding that at 1/20th of a second, I'd say the steady shot's doing a pretty good job. Okay, and let's look at the A7R II file at ISO 100. Same thing here. I'm hand holding at 1/20th of a second. The lens I'm using here is the 24-70 G Master. And either I was a little steadier on this one, or the A7R II is doing a better job at stabilizing. Whatever it is, this is a sharper image, but it's not really what we're looking at here. Just trying to look at the ISO quality. Okay, all right. Let's jump to ISO 400 now. Here is the A99. Cruise around here a little bit, and I'm going to switch to the A7R II ISO 400. Zoomed in here at 1:1. Both look great. Okay, I'm going to drop down to ISO 800. Okay. This is the A99II at ISO 800, zoomed in at 1:1. Zoom out, take a look at it, and zoom in. So I'd say we're looking great here at 800. Let's switch over to the A7R II. Pretty similar. Okay. Good. Zoom back out. A7R II, A99II, both at ISO 800. Okay, and now to ISO 1600. Here I'm going to bring all four cameras in. I'm going to add in the 6500 and the Canon 5D Mark IV. So let's see what we got here. First image is going to be the Canon 5D Mark IV at ISO 1600. I'm using the 24-70 f2.8 version 2 lens at 1/200th of a second, f3.2. Okay, this is the Canon 5D Mark IV at ISO 1600. In at 1:1. Looks good. Okay, back out, and this is going to be the A6500 at ISO 1600. This has the 24-70 G Master on it. f3.2, 1/250th of a second. Looks good. Let's go back to the 5D4 and the 6500. Okay. Back out here. Here's the A99 at 1600. Looks good. In at 1:1. Looks really good. I've been generally really happy with the files at high ISO on the A99 Mark II. Big improvement over their previous generation SLT cameras. And here's the A7RII at 1600. Looks very good. These all look pretty similar. You can see they have a little bit of an advantage over the 6500 to crop sensor camera, but not much. So we're at 1600 here. I'm going to flip back through them. This is the A7RII. This is the A99II. This is the A6500. And this is the 5D Mark IV. Alright, zooming back out. We're going to go to ISO 3200. Again, here I have all four cameras. Here is the 5D Mark IV, ISO 3200, in at 1:1. Sony A6500. 5D Mark IV, A6500. Okay, here's your A99II, zoomed out, or the original image, I should say, and here's your A7RII, both at 3200. Okay, let's go in at 1:1. Here's the A7RII, in at 1:1 at 3200. A99II at 3200. Back to the A7RII, A99II, A6500. Still holding up really well. And the Canon 5D Mark IV also looks really good. 5D4, A6500, A99II, A7RII. Alright, all four cameras again here now. We're going down to 6400. Let me back out. So we are at ISO 6400. Here is the Canon 5D Mark IV. Here's the Sony A6500. The Sony A99II. And the Sony A7RII. Back to the beginning now. We'll go in at 1:1. Here's the Canon. Very nice grain. Here's the A6500. A little more noticeable. A99 Mark II. Nice fine grain, looking similar to the 5D Mark IV, in my opinion. Still looks really good, holding up really good detail here at 6400. And the A7RII. Same sensor in those two cameras, the A7RII and the A99II. Only difference is the SLT mirror mechanism in the A99II. Okay, those look great. I'm going to zoom out and flip back through them. There's the A7RII, 6400, A99, 6500, 5D4. All right, we're going to drop down to 12,800 now. Here I lost the 5D Mark IV, it looks like, at this one. So we'll start out with the A6500 at 12.8. Of course, we're getting some pretty noticeable grain in this image, but overall the detail is still there. We're at 1:1 here. Zoom out. Here's the A99II. A99II right here. Zoom out. Sorry. In at 1:1 on the A99II at 12,800. Still looks really nice. Nice grain. It's there, but this is a lot better than what it used to be on the A99 and the A77 cameras. It used to be a lot blockier, a lot chunkier. This is a nice fine grain. I've been really happy with it. And now the A7RII. Looking good here. Full-size image at 12.8. Zooming in now 1:1. A7RII right here. Back to the A99II. This is the A99. A7R. A99. A7R. Alright, zoom out. One more to go here. We're going to go 25,600, and I got all four cameras back in for this one. Here's the original image. This is the 5D Mark IV at 25.6. In at 1:1. Which we're getting noticeable grain now. This is a high ISO. I usually do not work this high, but you can see if you had to, you can still get a usable image. That's the 5D4. This is the A6500. This is at 1:1, ISO 25.6. Back out. This is the A99 at 25.6. In at 1:1. And finally the A7R II at 25.6. A7R II, A99 II. A7R, A99. Back and forth here. Okay, one more time at full size. It's at 25.6. There's your A7R II image, A99 II, A6500, and 5D Mark IV. Okay, that's all for this video. I'm going to try and put some more stuff up. I've been working with the A99 II quite a bit. I've been shooting everything with it, so I have a lot more to share. Just got to find time to create the videos and get them uploaded. All the raw files here, I'm going to try and get these uploaded, and I'll link to them down below in the description as soon as I can, so you can take a look at them for yourself up close. All right, thanks for watching. See ya.